Hey everybody, Jeff Martin here, and joining me is Illinois' most knowledgeable person on the platform, Eric Williams. We wanted to shoot this video real quick to make sure that you guys have the confidence to go through the Illinois SREC document that is required on every single financed and cash project that we do moving forward. And we really wanted to simplify it that way you don't have to wait a long time to get it back. You don't have to go back and forth with the company. You can do this all while you're sitting with the homeowner the first time. So this is really simplifying the process. And again, we looped in Eric, who is absolutely the most knowledgeable person when it comes to this document, to show you exactly what to do step by step. So I want to kick it over to you, Eric, and thank you for doing this.
Just like Jeff said, like this is really important for you guys to understand how to utilize these documents and how to get rid of that fear of completing it incorrectly. I know there was a big ordeal of making sure these documents is completed because there's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that's associated with these documents. I just wanted to make a step-by-step guide for you guys to get these documents completed with the confidence and understand that is really not that difficult. All you're doing is a lot of copying and pasting for the most part. We're going to review the Illinois Shines portal. So I'm going to show you how to, once you log into your portal, where do you go from there? Then we're going to look at the customer facing disclosure form. So after you complete the disclosure form in the portal, what is the document that your customer see? After that, we're going to also quickly review the carbon solutions contract so you know what your customer is seeing. We're going to need the equipment, we're going to need the usage, as well as the finance. All right. So again, the goal is to quickly walk through broad overview of what the Illinois Shines program is. So it's a state administrative solar incentive program. Think of it as a state sponsor financing boost for the solar project in Illinois. All right. So it's also known as the adjusted block program. The core of the program is renewable energy credits. So we call them SRECs. So solar renewable energy credits or solar renewable energy certificates. So a REC is a certificate that represents the environmental value of 1 MWh of clean electrical energy that's generated by the system. So it's separate from the physical electricity itself. So the way this works is the state requires Illinois electric utilities to buy these renewable energy credits from the solar project owners and the approved vendors. So in this case, the approved vendor is going to be Carbon Solutions. So that contract is for a period of 15 years. The money from the sale of these RECs is a major incentive that helps the solar more affordable for the homeowners. So these are major incentives that your client can take advantage of. The RECs, which represent the green value of the power, are sold to the utility to fund the incentive program. So this is a win-win. The utility meets the renewable energy goals and the homeowner gets the significant benefits of the incentive. All right. So let's jump into the portal so you guys can see how you actually access the portal and start your form. All right. So when you log into your portal, this is going to be the screen here. You're going to click on, you're going to select Carbon Solutions, and then you're going to click View your disclosure forms. To create a new one, you're going to select Create New. This is going to bring you to this window where you actually can create a new one. So let's say I have this one that's already signed. You can go right there with the 3 dots. You can click Make a Copy. Once you click, that's going to make a copy at the top, and then you can hit Resume Form, and that's going to bring you here to the Resume Form. All right. So once you get to this page here, you're going to put the customer's information here. You're going to put their name. So in this case, it's test purposes, and then their project ID number there. Then we're going to move from this section, hit continue. Now we're going to go into the customer's information section here. So you're going to enter the customer's information, and then you're going to hit continue. Project seller. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either put your name here under the name for the project seller because you have a designee. So you're letting the Shines program know that you're the person that's involved in the program that's with this customer. or you can make it easier and put PV powered PVC. There is no wrong way when it comes down to that portion with the legal name. It can either be your name or Power's name. So as of right now, just go forth with putting Power's name. There has not been a policy that came out with the Illinois Shines program requiring either way. Okay. Power's address, city, zip code, phone number, email. You're going to go down to the next section, project installer. This is also Power. So all you're going to do is copy and paste the same information from the project seller section down here to the installer. Legal name, again, make sure it's Power, PVC. Now we're going to jump down into the section where we're going to put the information for the project. We're going to take this cash price, $49,655.60. So 30% of that, $14,896.68. So this is a cash project, which means we'll also need to know what the final payment is. So what we'll do is take 49, 655, 60. So yes, you do have to do a little math in here. We're going to subtract the $2,000 deposit. It was 49. Then we're going to also subtract the 30%. That 30% is the 30% that is due once we receive the permits approved. $32,758.92 is what's due after installation. So now that we have that, let's go back to our database here. So before project and start, that is actually 14,096.68 cents. That's right. 32,758.92. And then always go down here with the project price and verify that's the total amount. So our total amount was $49,655.60. So now we've confirmed that those numbers are correct, so we can move forward. Also, you're going to make sure that you put a 0 here for the amount of any other intermediary payments for the project. There's none there. The final payment is due after project has been installed. And then you're going to put NA here. We're going to click continue. Now we're going to this page here. At the top, there is nothing for you to add. You will not touch these plus buttons. Please do not touch the plus buttons. Nothing to verify. Just keep moving down. You're going to hit this section here where it's going to ask you a yes or no question. And this is for collateral. So it's going to always be a yes. You're going to always select yes. And then you're going to do 5%. So we're going to need the Illinois Shines amount, 10,058. So we'll get the calculator out again. We're going to multiply $10,058.01 by 5.81%. This is for the collateral. So we're trying to get the collateral. So that's $584.37. All right. So now we're going in and put 8584, and I have 37 cents here. You're going to go here, collateral. You're going to select withhold part of the rec payment. So basically what this means is they're going to take the collateral out of the SRAC amount. Okay. So make sure that you select this. If you select charge fee, they're going to send your client a bill before they send them the contract. So they'll send them the contract with a bill attached to it that the customer is going to have to pay that $583.37 collateral. So make sure you pick withheld, and then right here under estimated date of return of collateral after completion of the Carbon Solutions contract, 15-year contract. Conditions for the reasoning of collateral: system production is achieving energy production that is listed in the Carbon Solutions Group 15-year contract. Word for word, copy and paste. All right, moving on to the next one. Now we're on the Illinois Shines portion. So we need the production for the system. Estimated production, 10,073. All right, project size, AC kilowatt. All right, so basically what we'll do is we're going to go to the spreadsheet that Monty created for us for PPAs, like to fill out the disclosure form for PPAs. Jump over here, put in the panels that you have. So the project has 24 panels. This project has a IQ8 AC inverters on it. So that's going to give me a AC of 8.376. So this cheat sheet that Monty gave us is going to be gold for you to complete in this disclosure form for the AC if you do not know how to calculate it. So again, double check in 8376, right to the form 8376. They round up, hit calculate. This is the new program for the Illinois SRAC program. They calculate it themselves. All you have to do is match the same number from your proposal. It was $10,058.01. You match that up. Is the installation contingent upon receiving the program? No. Both of these are no. After site survey and design is completed, that is when we start the process. That disclosure form, this form here is what's going to start that process for you. So yes, it starts after site survey and design has been completed. Installation time frame, 60 days here, 180 days here. NA for the lien waiver, and then installer is going to be the one that's going to be submitting the interconnection application. Again, don't overthink it. Just continue to add in the details from your proposal. DC, so it shows in, so 10.2 is in DC for the system size, and then a 8.38. Your production, that's on your proposal here. The gross annual production in kilowatt hours goes here. This is the years that goes here. So we'll put 25 years. Does your project include a battery? Yes. What is the size of the battery? There is one 10 kilowatt hour battery there. We're going to put, remember when I say you're going to need the customer's usage. So it's going to be 10,491. Customer is going to automatically be switched to an hourly rate. If they're receiving the DG rebates, so switch this to hourly. Continue. Next page. It's going to talk about the net metering and the DG rebate. Yes, there's a smart inverter. Yes, there is a battery. Who keeps the rebate? Utility company generates. This goes to customer. And this is for both. Who keeps the storage rebate? Customer. It's going to automatically do the amounts itself. You have to come down here and click 300. So just click the 300 rate. All right, project operations, just copy and paste what I got on the screen. That's the right way to do it. Right now, what's on this screen right here in this section, copy exactly what's in here. We're going to hit continue. On this next page, I want you to copy both sections here, the verbiage that you see in both of these sections. I'm not going to read it verbatim, because you can see it on the screen. Type this in to these sections on yours, and then you're going to hit continue. Now, once you get to this section, if you want to change this and talk to your customer, do not hit this submit and download button, because you will not be able to go back and change any of the information in here at this point. But you're sitting down with your client, you need them to sign this document, you're moving through the paperwork, you're going to go ahead and hit submit. You're going to hit request for signature, proceed, and then they'll get that email. Once that client gets that email, this is what the form is going to look like. Form will have some verbiage of the FAQs in the beginning. It's going to have their information, all of the information that you put in here. This is also a great website to check out. Use that link, and then it's going to bring you up to this, and it's going to go more in depth with details. So it'll be helpful for you guys to go to the IllinoisShines.com website, review this form, get some knowledge on it, and how you can actually explain it to the customer so you can implement that into your presentation. And that way this process can be actually smooth for your client. So this actually shows all the details that you enter, what the customer is going to get. It's also going to show them what the total SRAC is. It's really simple. But this is what the client sees. This is what they have to sign. Once they sign it, it's going to pop back up into your back office. And then it's going to actually show you when they completed it. So what you're going to do is you're going to click here, sign form. Then it's going to download and you're going to upload that to your assets section. Now let's move on to part 3, where we're going to dive into the carbon solutions contract, the contract that connects your customer's solar project to the Illinois Shines program through a approved vendor, the approved vendor like Carbon Solutions Group. This document is crucial. And by the end of this video, you should be able to have the confidence to explain this to your customer. All right. So let's pull up that document. The contract we're looking at is the formal agreement between the customer and which is the seller and the approved vendor, which is the buyer. This contract facilitates the sale of these renewable energy credits to the utility company. So again, this is the document that starts off with a FAQ about the program and some basic information that most clients will have questions about. It also has information where the client can file a complaint for any wrongdoing or falsification of the documents that they have received. Okay, so we're going to go to the 4th page of this document, and that's going to cover the schedule. This section of the contract is often what a customer is most interested in. So look at this particular page to get any information that, the customer will really ask for. So this is page 5, and the label of this page is cover sheet A in alpha. This clearly identifies the customer as the system owner and the host. The system information specifics is the system details, which includes the size of the system, both in AC and DC kilowatt. For example, in this case, you'll be able to see here, let me scroll down so you can actually see it, which is the system size that's listed. So 8.99 kilowatt AC, 12.24 kilowatt DC, the REC value in payment, the renewable energy value in the payment. So this is where the money is. The document shows the AVP block price, so the price per REC, and the total number of RECs that the application has on it. So it also lists the projected REC purchase price and the total projected payments to the seller after fees, but before collateral is withheld. So for an example, systems for that are 25 kW or less, and that's AC, like this one on this contract, the total payment is typically a lump sum made after the system has been energized. Okay, so the approved vendor, which is Carbon Solutions, is a fee for the approved vendor service, is detailed here in this contract. So in this contract that we're looking at, it's a 10% of the total amount, which amount it comes out to being $1,691.21. So with that after you subtract that from the total amount, it gets you the $15,220.93 for this extract amount. So again, it's important to be clear with your customer about these numbers. The final payment amount can be subject to change if the system production change. Again, when you go through this form, you will also see on the cover sheet B, which is the next page, that it shows that the developer pays for the application fee, as well as they will upfront the 5% collateral, because that needs to be paid during the project, the application portion. So within that section, here's some diving into the collateral portion. So the collateral on the performance, the contract explains that a portion of the total contract value, at least 5%, is held as collateral. So as you can see on the document here, the purpose of this collateral is to ensure that the system delivers the expected amount of RACs or RECs over that 15-year period. In the event of underperformance, a collateral drawdown may occur. If the system underperforms, the customer may have to pay back some of the upfront incentives or lose a portion of their collateral. So in this case, the collateral was $845.61. So system maintenance on this project as well. The customer is responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of their solar system the entire time. So ensure that the production is hitting the estimated amount. If the system breaks down, the customer is actually responsible for repairs and must notify the approved vendor of any issues. So that goes to the warranty portion. So with ownership, that's going to fall under the Power Care 30-year warranty. So when it comes down to making sure the system is active, it's the customer's responsibility to make sure that system is going to be continuously running. There is no guarantee. You cannot guarantee that the customer will save a specific amount of money unless there is a explicit savings guarantee in the contract, which in the power contracts, there isn't. So there is no guarantee that should be specified in the Carbon Solutions contract as well. So the approved vendor does not guarantee that the customer will receive payment for the SRAC. It generates only that if the approved vendor receives the payment from the utility, they will pay the customer. So if Carbon Solutions receive money, they will hand it over to the customer. But if they don't, then Carbon Solutions is not going to pay the customer out of their pocket for any of this. All right. So also transfer of ownership. So if the client sells their home, they are required to notify Carbon Solutions because they are the approved vendor, and the new owner must agree to transfer and fulfill the contract. So whatever is left over on that contract, then that's what the new homeowner will have to fulfill. So again, this chart that you're seeing on the screen right now, that shows what the expected SRAC delivery is for the client. Also on there, page 10 of the contract, it will go through a breakdown. So for example, we're looking at a block rate. So each REC is $65.61. For that given year, they targeted 14 renewable energy credits to be delivered. Only 12 actually delivered. So they're going to subtract the actual from the projected. That would be 2. I'm going to times that by the block rate that the customer was paid out at. And it's going to show that $131.22 is the collateral drawdown. And they will invoice the client, the customer, the $131.22 to put that back into the collateral, to keep the collateral at that 5% total threshold for the safety net of the 15-year contract. So do understand that the client it's possible that they will get a check, get an invoice if their system hasn't been properly maintained and they haven't generated all the RECs that they were paid for. So please make sure that your customer is aware of that. That is definitely important. All right. So page 11 of this contract is another section that is going to be highly important for your customer. With page 11, this is another important section. This is cover sheet D as in Delta. This is where they're going to choose how they want to receive their incentive. Would they like to receive a check by USPS, which is free, or would they like to receive their income by PayPal, which is a 3% service fee, or wire? So there is no charge right here that showed by wire, but there should be a charge associated with it. It doesn't say free, so just be mindful that there could be a charge. that's actually associated with that section. So at the next section here, it just shows an address. So I'm just covering out the address. So I'm going to scroll down past that. That 5% collateral, the drawdown, the drawback, make sure that they understand that. The homeowner uses electricity and the SRECs are sold to fund their incentives payment. So it is a upfront, an advance payment. Let's put it that way. It is an advance payment for them to be able to afford their system. And just be transparent about the potential risks. All right. If the system isn't performing how it's supposed to perform, then there is a risk that they will receive a invoice to pay back the incentives or whatever rec that they were paid that they did not generate. They will have to pay that back. Explaining the collateral and the underperformance clause clearly, so there's no surprises later. This is a DocuSign document. This will expire. So it is very important that the customer understands this. All right. So second to last page, this page here, the Schedule A, is basically the ownership. So it's me as the owner of the solar system giving Carbon Solution as the approved vendor the permission to sell the SRECs and handle the funding. And then on the last page is going to be one of the other most important pages that a lot of solar consultants have been getting questions about, which is going to be the page where the customer has to actually put in their credit card information. Okay. So looking at this one is going to be the one that you get the most questions about, why I have to put in my credit card information. Okay. So Carbon Solutions collect credit card information to keep on file per terms of their 15-year contract. So as part of the ABP, so the adjustable block program, they pay system owners upfront the 15-year of the generation. So the upfront payment comes with the requirements that the system keep delivering the RECs, so the renewable energy certificates credits, at the contracted amount for the full duration of the contract. If a system underproduces, Carbon Solution will invoice for the under delivery at the rate that you were paid for your renewable energy credits. That's what they're going to invoice you at. So that example that we utilize, if you go to page 4 in the contract or page 3 of the contract, where it has the breakdowns of this is how many RECs we're paying you for, this is the rate. So that's where you're going to see exactly what that rate would be. So if it underproduce, the customer will be charged whatever that rate is that is on that page. Okay. So Carbon Solutions will automatically draw payment from the card that is on file if the invoice is not responded to. Your obligation of that contract still valid. Okay. So that is the reason why Carbon Solutions asks for this credit card information at the end. So make sure you explain that to the customer, implement this into your conversation piece. These contracts do come out to them. They're not surprised because Carbon Solutions contract will be sent to the homeowners within a week to 3 weeks is when that first contract will be sent out. So other than that is the explanation and the overview of the Carbon Solutions contract.